So yes, you read the title correctly. I am getting an early head start and have begun illustrating for my book before I found an editor. I really sat there for one day with nothing productive to do, and so I thought, hey, let me stop waiting for the perfect editor and begin drawing for my book. And no, this is not concept art, it's actually going to be the first image seen when you open my book. Or at least I plan for it to be. I worked too hard on this for it to not make the cut. As you guys know, if you've been a Day One follower, I'm working on an 8-book series called Igbesan Ajinde. So here's a little taste tester or snippet of the story. Igbesan Ajinde, I'll show you guys a few of the character designs so you get a feel of it, which you can follow my Instagram and TikTok and see some samples of the stories, as well as a book-by-book introduction to each main character. Or you don't even have to do that, just follow my YouTube channel and watch all my previous videos where I talk and walk you through my character designs. The main characters, this is all of them here since each book has a different protagonist. Igbesan Ajinde is about a girl named Monife who is unjustly murdered one night by a group of peers from her village and school. The murder takes place in a rural countryside area on a warm night in 1981, and the peers that partook in her murder all hid it and buried her under a tree in the forest near their village. It would seem like they all got away with it, but sometimes in life karma won't hit you instantly, but in a moment when you have the most to lose. Even if it is 40 years later, at least that's the case for this crime. Fast forward to the year 2017, a lot of things have happened since 1981. Life has gone on as if Monife never existed, and her murderers have grown, gotten jobs, made families, and the fact that they hid a murder is the last thing on their minds. But despite the world forgetting its wrongs to Monife, the soil remembered it all, and so 40 years after her death, Monife is met by a mischievous deity who seems to be looking for some brief amusement. This deity, although sketchy at first sight, gives Monife a chance to live again with anything she desires. And despite having the opportunity to be great and do great, Monife has a sole interest: revenge. She chooses to have only 1 year to be alive again, and in that time span she intends to get vengeance on those who killed and hid her, especially the leader of the group, Olienka, who had been vile to her even before taking her life. But in order to be able to live long enough to have her revenge, Monife has to pay a small price in exchange for her borrowed time, which you'll have to read the first novel for in order to know. So Monife is a teen girl who is very revenge driven. She does not care how the revenge is taken. If you are part of the group who killed her, or if you are related to anyone who was a part of it, you are screwed. Her revenge is like a generational curse. She attacks bloodlines that were anything to do with her death. She has the ability to expose an individual's hypocrisies in ways that seem unnatural to the physical plane. Supernatural, if one could describe it. She works like a chaotic entity, often presenting herself as an innocent, fresh new face in each novel. You often know she's being introduced as the main characters tend to be drawn to her at first sight, whether it is because of fondness, beauty, jealousy, or the simple idea that she may have something that they deeply desire. On the surface, Monife will always appear to be kind, quiet, maybe even naive or dumb to some. She becomes anything to have a room believe that her guard is down. But the more you think so, the further you realize that all along you had your guard down. And despite her sweet appearance, the more you think you know her and get closer, the more you start to see that something is not quite right with her in comparison to other people, whether it's her old-fashioned viewpoints or her lack of seriousness in a dangerous situation. There's a shallow feel from her, like she's not there to experience life, but to watch others suffer in it. So you just have to follow my social media platforms so you can stay updated to get the book when the first one comes out. But I'll take the remaining few moments to talk about what's going on the screen currently. As you guys know, I'm gritting my teeth trying to get hold of an editor to get this first book of the series out. But I'm not going to let that slow me down, so I have started drawing for the book. I figured I'd draw in order of the events that take place, Thus, I have an image portraying the very first meeting of Monife and her sketchy alibi, the mischievous deity that brings her back. I wanted this opening picture to be striking and mysterious, with a sense of somewhat dread hanging in the air. But I also wanted it to feel like hope, another breath, another chance, an opportunity even. But I don't know, maybe to you all it just looks like another book illustration made by another creator, bound to vanish in a sea of faces. But that's all I have to say for today. Drop any comments down below, whether you're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Especially if you're on YouTube, tap that like button and follow for more. And if you really like it, hype up the video so that I can be pushed more into the algorithm. But until next time, this is Yetunde P. Owa, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.